All right, C7 A7s. This is a 2013. I'm just going to do a quick run around on like pulling side skirts, bumper, windshield trims, door trims, pulling your back bumper. Kind of just I'm wrapping the car, so I had to pull all the trims and everything. There's not a straightforward video explaining these. I kind of went around and just figured it out on my own, researched little forums, reached out on some pages, got a little bit of information from different people, so I tried to just put it all in one video explaining. So front bumper, that's there's a ton of videos out there on it. You pull your fender wheels, pull all your bolts here on the inside. You gotta pull your T30s. Most of them are all T20, T25, and T30, pretty sure. I already pulled the brackets off, but you're gonna have 10 mil bolts, 2 going up this way, 1 going in this, or 2 going up this way. You'll have a big plastic bracket that actually sits here in place, like so. This might be the wrong side, but yeah, it's the wrong side. You'll have this big bracket sitting up in here, and you'll have 2 10. It's actually, all right. Now, this is exactly how it sits. You'll be able to get to the 10 mil bolt on the right side here. That'll go through this hole, but you won't be able to get to this one. This bracket will still be on the car whenever you pull it off. So you'll be able to take it off then. You will not have to remove this to remove the bumper. Now this is a S7 front bumper, so it should be the same, but don't quote me on that. Then you'll have to disconnect your front skid plate. Just take all your bolts out right here. Let it come off in one piece. Just keeps it more sturdy, not as much flexing. You'll just have it one piece. Take apart both sides, all your bolts, your 2 bolts up here on top, and it'll slide out. You got to disconnect your harnesses, and that's it. Windshield trims, kind of just go down the line here. These trim pieces right here is just a windshield trim that pops in like this. All it does is it has this little groove it sits in. Just work from the bottom, you'll pop it up, you'll slowly go up, you'll pop it all out. I broke the corner off right here, but it still snaps in just fine, latches down. This trim piece, just slowly work it up, it'll come off. I browsed the forum on trying to figure out how to get these off. I pulled apart on the inside, let's see. There's actually a rivet up here behind all this rubber that you'll have to drill out before you can even get this off. And from my understanding, it is hard to get these to come off without breaking. It's very tedious. I tried working this piece off back here, could not get it. So I might add a clips towards the end for like popping the door handles off and stuff. I might pop them back in, pop them back out. So these I couldn't get off. These window trims, this one don't have any bolts. You just come over here to the corner, same as that front piece, pop it up, and you'll slowly work across and pop it out. You want to kick it, so the piece is sitting in here, you want to kick the bottom inwards and lift up on it, and it'll slide right out. This one is a different story. You got to pull your door card off. You'll have a bolt that's in the panel right below the handrest, and then one down on the bottom. I'll go over here for reference real quick. So in this video, or this part, this door card, we got a bolt right here, and then down here on the bottom, we kick it out a little bit, you can see there'll be a bolt right there in the bottom of the door. So you're going to take those out, and then your speaker here just got a bunch of, I think, T25 Torx bits that go around it. You're going to pull all your T25 Torx bits off to get up inside the door for the mirror. You're going to take this T25 off, that'll pull this down. You're going to go up in here, and I think this one was a T20. You're going to take that T20 off, and it will pull your corner placard off. This little corner placard will come off. Then you can go through, you can take your trim piece, you can pop it sideways, work it all up just like the rear. On the mirror, absolutely a nightmare. I pulled this off and I pulled the speaker out. Do it with the window up. It is 3 10mm bolts. let's see, where is the housing right here. So you have 3 studs that'll slide in the door, and this harness will come through on this hole and it will plug into here and this little connector here. But you're going to take a box end wrench, ratcheting wrench, whatever. You're going to go up through here. I kind of used these holes with a flashlight to see where I was at on the nuts, and you sit there, unscrew them, and you'll slide all of the harness and everything out that hole right there. That'll get your front door card off, your mirror off, and your window trim here on this. For side skirts, so on the bottom, you're going to pull these out. Just take a flathead or anything. You can turn most of them by hand. You'll spin them around or two and they'll pop out. And you'll do that as far as you want. I'm not taking the whole side skirt off, so I didn't take them all out. Then you're going to come up here. You have these locking tabs. So these tabs go in here to these fingers. It'll be slid together like this. So what I did was I popped out the little box that your jack goes into, reached up in here with a screwdriver, as you can see. Hold on, let me readjust this. As you can see, these little fingers, I just took a flathead screwdriver, I pushed up on the plastic, kind of pulled down on that a little bit, and just gave this little tug to where it came outwards. And then you'll go back here to the back side. These just slide in. It just sits down here in this groove. So what you'll do is you'll grab the bottom of the rocker here, side skirt, and you're just gonna yank on it, wiggle it around, yank, and it'll just pop out. You gotta give it a little bit of a hard tug. Don't worry, you can get these as replacements. They're pretty cheap, but they typically don't break or anything. It's just a really snug fit, especially if they've never been taken off. I did the same for here. I took the screws out of the bottom. I kind of popped it out on the bottom, but I cannot figure out how to get this top side out, so I'm just kind of leaving it like that. It wasn't that big of a problem. On a bumper here, you're going to take your 3 Torx bits out. You're going to have 1 Torx bit that is right here. They're all like T25s or something. You're going to take these 3 out plus this one. You're going to pull forward. You're going to pull this way and pull out, and this will just all pop out like this. Then you're going to go up here to this little tab. This will be pushed down. It has a little alignment pins. Let's see if I can get the angle. You see it has little alignment pins it sits on in there. You're going to take a pair of pliers. I did it by finger. You're going to take this tab. You're going to pull it up. It'll come up about 1 inch. And then you're going to pull outwards like this. That will pop this all loose right here. Now I did not look into taking the center part off, as I just need this out to lay wrap into the joints. But there's probably on the internet somewhere. If I find out that it's real easy, I might just pop it off just for the sake of the video. But marker lights, reach up in the back side of the bumper, push your locking tab in and just pop them out. Rear valence, this is an absolute nightmare. You got your 3 mounting bolts that go right here on the tab. And then you're gonna have all these little push lock connectors here that are a living nightmare to get to. So you're gonna go in from the back side of the bumper. Let's see where the, here it is. So it has all these ears that got these little nipples on them, and they slide into each one of these little grooves. So what you have to do, you go back out onto the back side. You're going, and then, oh, damn, this don't work out worth the fuck. You're gonna take a flathead screwdriver. You're gonna come in here. You're gonna pry and push out on the little tab here. Pull on the valence, and it'll slowly pop off. It is an absolute nightmare. I do not recommend it to my worst enemy, but it is able to be done. Let me move this out the way. All right, tearing apart your rear trunk assembly. You're going to open up this hatch. You're you're gonna have 2 bolts right there. You take 2 bolts, the rest of these are all little pop clips. So what I did, when I went around with a trim tool, my fingers, I just grabbed the panel, yanked down. You're gonna have pop clips all the way around. Just make sure you take out your 2 center bolts, give it a good tug, give it a pull. It's gonna feel like you're breaking it, you're not. That'll get that panel popped down off of there. Then you're going to have a bunch of little 10 mil bolts. Let me think. Can't remember how many it is. You're gonna have a few 10 mil bolts that go through. Oh, let me pull this down. A few 10 mil bolts that go through on all these holes, and then that will allow you to take that whole wing just like this and pop it up off there. And then taking out your spoiler, actuator, whatever, is all these 10 mil nuts that are on the bottom side of all these holes. You zip them all out, it just pops straight up out of there. Make sure that you take your plugs out here. One of these will have a bolt that goes there and goes there. Tail lights, just nuts and bolts on the back, nuts and bolts on the back. Your outside tail lights, take your little rubber trim right here, just pop it open. You're gonna have your 2 Torx bits. Take your 2 Torx bits out and just yank on the light, it'll pop out. I can't think of anything else. I know it's not me doing it in the process and everything, but I had to learn as I went, and a lot of failed attempts and different things and asking different people. So whenever I'm going back together, after it's wrapped and everything, I might make a more thorough on, like, say, popping all these tabs, popping these trim panels off, the whole process of taking these apart, because this is a little overwhelming. But it's able to be done. So I got bolts out of the top of this fender, kind of just to have access, because I was looking down in here to see how to get this trim off, but that's a whole different mess. So if there's any other questions on different processes or something like that, I'll look into it and I'll try to make a video on it. I have no problem to yank it apart, make a informative video. Front bumper, taking out your little buckets for your fog lights and your sensors and everything. It's just a bunch of the same lock tabs. You sit here and push down with your screwdriver, push out on your bucket. Same way with the grill, it's a bunch of lock tabs, but you also have a couple bolts that are in each corner. You take your Torx bits out, boom, pop the whole grill out. That's all sitting up here. Took the splitter off. But yeah, I will try to make an in-depth video whenever I'm going back together on each part and how to go through that process, just to record in depth. But for now, this is just the general basics to give you an idea to what to look at, because on the C7 A7, this is 2013 pre-facelift, there's not a video informing. So like I said, any other questions, just throw a comment down, I'll try to help you out.